Alright, I'll begin.
Oh, great.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Are you ready to go crazy?
It was underneath the table.
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds?
At the very back of the dining hall.
Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
Enough already! Show yourself, coward!
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown. That's when he was killed.
Stop this childish nonsense! Just what do you mean by coincidence?
He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder.
A clue, you say?
You think so too, right, Gundham?
There was a blackout. There was no way the killer could have used the desk lamp.
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
Simply listening is unacceptable.
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep the tabs on each other.
However, I won't allow this to end with mere play. Now then, let us lift the curtain of a bloody spectacle.
In doing so, he tried to put the tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
Cast our votes.
Nagito talks a lot in the
if it runs over, I'll just go into the second trial. So it'll be even fucking funnier.
Alright. How wonderful! How beautiful it is!
After all this, what else do you intend to hide?
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct, it was my doing all along.
That's right. Even if a different weapon was used, it does not mean Nagito has been cleared of suspicion.
I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started!
That was found in the storage room, right? Are you
I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way into the table in the dark! And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout.
Are you suggesting you hid it there after the murder?
After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
There's no mistake that murder occurred under the table.
But I never expected Byakuya to have the night vision goggles.
Are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And well, you all saw how that played out.
I said, are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
But with a twist like this, I think we can all agree that this ended up being a very interesting mystery.
Just a bit longer and I would have reduced everything, including that old building, to ashes.
Byakuya performed admirably.
However, it's that line out of context. It's just as old as the old legend says, the Hellhound earring has returned to its owner, to me.
Me? Lie? That's outrageous. There's no way someone like me could ever lie to you guys.
It's understandable. After all, you fools only view the world through eyes of glass.
I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless.
But I am different. With the power of my four dark devas of destruction, it is of no concern.
I've made peace with the fact that I'm a lowly, stupid, insignificant human who can't do anything.
Truly, this is the evil fourth eye.
Yep, I sure did.
Before the might of the evil fourth eye, all visual chaos is rendered as under.
There's nobody else on this island whose handwriting is that painful to look at, right?
Fine, I shall tell you all. The answer was in the storage room.
I think, somewhere deep in my heart, I was probably hoping to find someone who would stop my evil deeds.
one of my 4 dark davas of destruction, Mirage Golden Hawk John P, has seen beyond the chaos.
Yep, that's true too. But you're wrong about one thing. I didn't need to rig the drawing for cleaning duty, you know.
A secret passage of doom leading to the underground lurks beneath an assortment of random boxes.
I see. Well, there's no way I'd expect you to remember it. A worthless talent for a worthless human.
After securing a lighter from the supermarket, I threw caution to the wind and ventured below the floorboards.
That's right! I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked for cleaning duty.
As a result of that lonesome battle, I was able to recover the Hellhound earring with my own 2 hands.
Byakuya was a very capable leader. For someone like him to get killed... Oh, the despair it brings!
Tremble with fear, fools, behold my power.
It's only fitting that you symbols of hope should use his death as a stepping stone to shine even brighter.
The culprit is self-evident.
Is this what you're trying to say, Gundham?
Regardless, it's impossible to go under the floorboards from outside. Nagito and I already confirmed that.
As long as we can't prove that the knife is the murder weapon, we can't assume that I'm the killer.
No, unfortunately, there was nothing related to the incident under the floorboards.
Hey, don't blame me. Gundam's the one who said it.
The only thing I found was a strange liquid in the darkness near where Byakuya's blood was dripping.
Nobody can see in the dark. No matter how hard you think about it, the truth is beyond your sight.
Also, if they stabbed from under the floorboards, the weapon would need to be at least 50 centimeters in length.
Such perceptive hearing. Impressive. I'd expect no less from the ultimate breeder.
The sword of destruction, encased in bone and sheathed in meat. It brought catastrophe unto Byakuya.
Well, that's actually what happened.
The outcome of this trial should be determined whether or not we find Nagito's killer.
As a sign of respect for Gundam's talent, I have a small confession to make. I was actually shoved out from under the table by Byakuya.
Hey, you said the game was a work of non-fiction. That means Nagito, little sister, is...
Just as the blackout occurred, I hurried to duck under the table and grab the knife. But Byakuya, wearing his night vision goggles, caught me and shoved me right out from under the table.
Girl A is Nagito. Girl B is Nagito. Girl C is Nagito. Girl D is Nagito. And Guy F is Nagito.
That's right! I'm so incompetent that I couldn't even grab the knife.
The first victim of the game, that dead high school girl, is Nagito's little sister.
Meaninglessness. What other word is brimming with so much despair?
Tanaka may be an ordinary family name, but it's far better than Nagito or Nagito.
But you can't give up! You need to have hope. Do your best and move forward.
Broke the window to the music room.
Rising to the challenge again and again is why you guys are the symbols of hope.
And escaped outside. Then the piano.
If the knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that I'm the killer.
The investigation conducts universal chaos.
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before! Not even my own mother!
A scenario where Guy F murders girl E out of a burning hellfire desire to avenge his murdered sister.
I guess we did see something I could have used. Isn't that right, Gundam?
So you finally decided to confess.
Huh? Gundam, you look like you're onto something.
I see. So Nagito was able to arrange a meeting with Nagito by sisters with him.
If so, that means the killer was able to get under the floorboards, but from where and how?
I have captured the true character of this mystery.
It appears we're getting close to the final stage.
Nagito. Who summoned Nagito to the beach house? Hid under the closet like a familiar.
I see. I never considered the portable stove. There's a hole in your argument.
When she saw her chance, she attacked her like an evil spirit and left the beach house like a swift wind.
Now then, Gundham, will you battle against me?
We have presented the proof. My 4 dark devas of destruction didn't even need to come out.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier?
Why, if you continue to say such foolish things, I shall tear you limb from limb.
It contradicts his testimony.
I shall render my verdict upon this mystery's conclusion.
Are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
Nagito is the sinner who killed Mahiru.
So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it?
In doing so, they were able... Wait, Kazuichi?
Wouldn't Gundham have seen it?
In doing so, they were
Gundham.
able to
Wish I could do
control
Mikan.
Nagito and Mahiru to do their bidding like the netherworld puppeteer.
You sound so scary. If you're that angry, why don't you take a deep breath?
So their reason for blocking the door with Mahiru's body was to make Nagito leave his footprints for evidence.
Whatever conclusion you ultimates arrive at, I will accept it no matter what it is.
Your stance is neither white nor black, but gray. That actually works really well as a response. And you
jeez.
do not yearn for your life or even for victory.
It's not like I'm wrong. That's how it's written on the staff roll.
They wouldn't have to do something that troublesome as long as they hid somewhere within the beach house.
Based on Guy F's tone in the game, it's clear that girl E is not his little sister.
However, before we proceed any further, there's something that we have to make clear.
Winning personality? Are you praising me?
The killer blocked the roadside door with Mahiru's body before Hiyoko ran away. But what about the blood? I meant before Nagito ran away.
That's why it's the motive.
Let me ask, who might that be?
I see. So you're never gonna accept that this game is based on true events, huh?
Those 3 lines back to back.
Among flowers, the cherry blossom. Among men, the samurai. I commend your deviousness at least.
Okay. I understand your attitude towards this class trial now.
Very well. If you admit it, this ends now. Let's cast our votes.
That's why I'd be so much happier if Gundham wasn't the killer.
What? What are you saying?
Which means Girl E was killed as revenge for the dead high school girl.
What?
What do you think, Gundham? Apparently, Gundham was killed to avenge your little sister.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Nagito?
In order to make that clear, we need to know more about the case involving the first victim's murder.
Then let's ask Nagito. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
Yep! An understandable explanation. Just as expected from the ultimate breeder, who excels at clearing breeds. By the way, since it was never mentioned in the game, we can exclude the possibility of there being a spare key.
So during the 10 minutes Nagito left the venue, the killer murdered Nagito and created a closed space.
Actually, the murder was nearly finished by the time the 4 girls met in the entrance hall.
That scrap of paper? Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
With that key, she locked the music room from the hallway, returned the key to the office.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
All she had to do was break the vase in the next door classroom,
Until
as
one
the
of
4
us-
girls met
Until one of
by
us
the
wrote that
entrance.
line.
What? They hid the pillar?
But the real important talk begins now.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
I might as well ask, just in case. Who do you think killed Girl E?
A valid line of reasoning.
That's all you can say? If that game is telling the truth, it'd be a huge problem for you.
What do you mean?
Huh? They're not Hyoko's footprints? That's strange.
If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Nagito's body.
The footprint I collected from your room matches these footprints perfectly.
Let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
Then you didn't meet up with Mihiru at the beach house?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible.
Brand of gummies you eat only have melon, grape, and orange flavors, right?
What's wrong with that?
That's right! None of the gummy bags in her cottage had any yellow ones.
How light. Your words are so light. As light as the slimp's feather.
Hey, Gundham, now that our suspicions have been addressed, can you tell us the truth?
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Yeah, I got that already. So, can you give us the details about that trap?
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Nagito was killed.
Really? This is really terrible.
How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
It's all my fault. I'm so ashamed of being unreliable.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're wrong, Gundham. We aren't supposed to doubt each other here. We're supposed to work together.
I'm telling you to present your evidence.
The class trial is where we cooperate with each other, work hard, and aim for victory.
Weak, 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 I say.
The killer and everyone else, two hopes attempting to grasp the one true hope.
It doesn't even pierce my heart.
I'm on the side of the absolute hope that can overcome any despair.
A shepherd dressed in his Sunday finest while still reeks of lamb. Nagito.
I agree with that as well.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
If Hyoko was left alone and ruined the evidence the killer had planned, it would have messed up their plan.
But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
Sorry, Gundham. It's not like that.
You are so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you realized our difference in status.
I'll listen to your story about men from the future some other time.
However, the time for convict starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
You don't sound very articulate.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Nagito.
Depending on who actually found the body, it's possible that your 3 or more people rule could be deadly.
Ah! Impossible.
Flexibility, huh?
Try to
What?
remember the crime scene.
Which means 3 people other than the killer discovered Mihiru's body.
There was no blood on the floor.
It seems you've realized who the killer is.
You can't step on blood that was never there.
See? Just as I thought.
Just about 1 minute.
I see. Not just the bamboo sword, but even the sword bag, too. She used them both to escape.
Did you see a nice nightmare?
Akane said she's like a ninja, but it's nothing as silly as that.
Nagito was taped to the pillar, yes?
Even so! How disappointing. If you'd only let me work with you, it would have been an even greater plan.
Then it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it.
As a serial killer enthusiast, you're wondering if Gundham is really sparkling justice, am I right?
However, you cannot step on that pillar with your feet.
Honestly, it felt strange to me too. I mean, there's a distinct difference between what we know about sparkling justice and Gundham, right?
You should feel proud of yourself.
You know, Gundham described sparkling justice like this. She called herself a tool, which means someone else used her then. I see. I finally understand. Well, I did have a sneaking suspicion all along.
It's been nearly 3 years since I had to use 60% of my power.
There is proof that establishes that fact. Try to remember it.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
That announcement is made when at least 3 people discover a body.
It appears that it is the wiser to retreat for now.
If that's the case, it would mean only Gundam and Gundam discovered the body.
Fine then, but regardless of good or evil, there is no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Huh? Am I wrong?
What time did Nagito see that video?
Therefore,
That's not an alibi!
if you were shown a photograph of your sister's dead body, you'd have no choice but to believe it.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
Even so, you wanted to deny the truth. That's why you sent those photos to Mahiru to confirm it.
That's the
think that
one
that's still
Hiyoko's
happening.
body was imitating, right?
I see. That's what you were aiming for all along.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
What?
Amazing! This is such a heart-pounding story. And then what did you do, Gundam?
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 Dark Davas of Destruction are getting riled up.
Why the motel?
Or?
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
She was guided by the will of casualty.
Wait, how do I know anything Gundam just said is true?
Though that may not apply to Nagito, since he provided Nagito with that information.
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth to you.
Nagito, it seems you have quite the fashion sense.
Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Would you like me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do it while you're wearing them.
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Of course. I already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Gundam's fault.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing minute murder first.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video,
Before the incident, Gundam had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
Where would you find another stepladder? There was only...
Isn't that right, Gundam?
There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Which means there's no way Gundam, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that intimidated him.
Then there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
It also provides a good warm-up.
Despite Nagito's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
They couldn't have done it while Gundam was away from the venue.
Or they might have tampered with the camera.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi, you know. Gundam!
You fiend, are you saying you already know who the killer is?
Don't get mad! I just think warming up is really important, especially since this isn't a game.
So that must mean...
They must have done it earlier than that.
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone can be killed with such a slow-witted woman.
Of course. The body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too.
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Here, I have proof.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
See? It fits perfectly.
The Nagito file complicated this too.
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
It never never specified hanging or strangulation.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Gundam's body right away.
That's not it.
The killer must have been in a hurry. If their plan took long, Hajime could have walked in on them.
Thinking we should at least find one method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Gundam first.
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar.
For example, it's possible Gundam killed Gundam and then committed suicide due to a guilty consciousness, right?
Gundam killed Gundam and then committed suicide. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to use it as a weapon.
When Gundam first discovered Gundam, Gundam was just pretending to be dead.
Gundam was just pretending to be Gundam. You mean Nagito killed himself?
Then she was alive!
If that pillar was not lifted,
There's still one more issue on my mind.
beating himself with it is beyond a dream.
I'm so happy! I'm getting goosebumps! Everyone
What the
actually
heck?
needs to help me from scum like me.
Then I shall ask you, which way is that?
Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide!
A specific item?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death by tampering with the crime scene.
That's right. You've seen it clearly.
But now I remember. There was blood on Gundam's slippers!
Because I, the only one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon.
So if he faked his death and walked around the music venue, tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst, which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory.
Huh? Really? That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then. Heh. Heh.
It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
But that's something only Gundam would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
I see.
That is truly strange.
You took a picture?
If the... You noticed such a small detail! How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion cast by Nagito's cursed eye?
That's amazing, Gundam. All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
Same building, different floors?
And the moment Gundam left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
If they're different floors with the same building, why was Nagito's body in both places?
So the killer could choose the conference room because they realized the floor matched.
Nagito died with a mechanical body.
That might have been another reason, but the main reason was probably to tamper with evidence.
It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
Even if Nagito's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
By that time, the real Gundam must have already been killed.
What? Are you saying Nagito's body was transported using elevator?
This must be a surprising turn of events for Gundam.
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only Gundam and Gundam have an alibi.
Too many strange things. Was the tower really an elevator?
It's not literally impossible. Can you guys give a better defense than that?
What did you say?
Yeah, can you hold on a minute?
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all, and I mean, I have no place to say this. I missed all the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this, but still, there's definitely no way I could overlook the killer this time.
You said earlier that the strawberry house and grape house connected vertically, right?
I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning.
If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
I've been so focused on everybody else this trial, but I guess now is a good time to say it, right?
If that elevator moves vertically...
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small decisive clue that points to the killer.
Then, when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side.
Let's take a look, shall we?
But does this reflect reality?
Regarding the rope Gundham was dangling from.
Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator.
Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if this was rubbed strongly.
And inside Strawberry House on your left when your back is to the elevator.
The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part where it used to strangle Gundham.
Which means the houses are on opposite sides of the tower.
Just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
Answer me, fiend. What does this mean?
And then I finished speaking.
If two houses are connected vertically...
She was strangled to death.
Vertically, not horizontally!
But we believe it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Which means your reasoning...
You, Gundham, the ultimate breeder.
You say such falsehoods, per usual.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her.
Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires, even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I'm not a criminal. Gundham is. I mean, Gundham's a killer, you know.
Died from falling.
I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Make things up when you don't know the method.
I see. You guys are kind.
Where in that building would you be able to push someone off in the first place?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Well, this is annoying.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in flames of hell.
We can't think of anybody else other than you.
That must be the threshold of the elevator.
Taking your stubbornness this far, such despair.
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Morrow would have just moved along with it.
Huh?
There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes? What about the oil on the floor?
You guys, the same as usual.
So, that's how the pillar shattered and why oil was spilled all over the place.
What a waste of talent. You all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
It appears another contradiction has been birthed.
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you, so I guess I should lend a hand.
How were you able to discover Nagito died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
His time of death and time of the body was discovered.
Of course I know, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
One of those must be an illusion.
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together! You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you?
If there's no possibility that time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding.
I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up.
The problem is what time would 7:30 be?
Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
In our time.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly.
There's no point in saying that.
I have a good reason for that.
If does not exist in this world.
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it.
It was when we gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge.
From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
What is it, Nagito?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster to just show you.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
How did they use it?
Yep!
It's
Yep.
merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Let me explain it to you again.
What's wrong with that?
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
But don't you think it's weird?
Hear what?
Yeah, it should have been.
Answer me this, including myself and my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears.
If you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this.
That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
Such sharp eyes. So you've realized it already.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm.
What does it mean?
That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
And yet I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hull button so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower.
I was simply at a loss of words after being dumbfounded by your horrible assumption.
That actually works.
And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth.
In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong from the very beginning.
Oh my. I can't believe I have to explain that now.
Based on your assumption.
As long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
I had hung Nagito from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor.
That's basically the gist of it.
From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm lounge went off, correct?
I see. So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
Although, going to and fro is busy. How would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course you know that too, right?
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing Grape House.
This is truly fantastic!
If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House.
Or his scream.
For these reasons, it is indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
The reason is obvious. So they could lure out Jess Gundham.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him all the way to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we found out how the killer lured Nekomaru,
That elevator was
the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
only means of travel between the two houses.
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
As long as that elevator was broken,
You still don't know?
your assumption collapses.
You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Gundham. Are you using your ultimate breeder student talent?
Since I was at the Strawberry House at the time.
Well, why? Well, wait, no. Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
There's no question that the following crime is impossible.
Gundham probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me?
Until the moment the alarm started ringing, right?
Why don't we stop this already?
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off.
Such a method does not exist.
Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
I see. You're still holding out.
That is That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway.
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundham is the killer.
What did you say?
You know, Gundham, this class trial, the killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
Seriously, let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Even if the turbid box does not exist.
Well, let's just leave that fun for later and finish this opening act already.
You could travel through multiple planes.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Provided you use a spacious wormhole.
Jeez, once again, I let the breeder show off.
However how frail, I say.
But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the octagon, which is the first floor of Strawberry House.
Your decayed illusion.
Hmm?
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities? Know the limits of your reasoning.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You say the killer went to the octagon.
Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is on the 3rd floor of Grape House.
Don't bark, you cur.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains, too.
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
It seems this is the end.
At least pray to the key that dwells in the light.
There's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act, so I'm going to end this right now.
That's my line.
So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower. Just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At the time, we didn't even know the two towers were the exact same place. And also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter the Strawberry Tower.
Hold on, what did you say? That I didn't battle?
But surprise, Gundham was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Don't mess with me.
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they all failed, they probably wouldn't have minded.
Don't mess with me. I cannot ignore those words.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay?
You fools do not understand. You don't understand at all.
Huh? What's wrong with that?
Ha! You make me laugh. After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
It appears I cannot finish just yet.
I'm Nagito Kamaeda. Nice to meet you.
Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish. It's obvious. I'm going to destroy your illusionary assumptions. Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to be behind him. Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumb so easily to the simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations. Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I am satisfied. Well, listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those. It's Nagito's back. You really think I can get behind him so easily? Oh? Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it. It appears I have obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine, then you must trample me underfoot in advance. Victory can only be built on a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now trample this life. Trample it as if though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance into your own 2 hands. Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well. You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it. Cast your impure votes for Gundham Tanaka. My beloved deadly foes, let the voting time begin. Want to be awed by the sight of my prowess? You may call me Gundham Tanaka. Remember it well, for it is the name that will one day rule this world. You fiend! Let me ask, what did you do to me? Let's make history. This too must be will of casualty. That was close. Fine. Fall, my tears. I shall engulf this world. The night is my domain. This body is uncooperative. How pitiful. Nature, the collective will of the world. Kneel! Shiver, you. Fade like dust in the wind. I renounce you. I won't let you. Thank you. Now then, let us begin. My name is Gundham Tanaka. I can see it. It's nearly showtime. Burn in the fires of pandemonium. Leave this to me. Be happy. What? How foolish of me. Impossible. Isn't my 4 dark days of destruction. Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared for dark days of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now my duty's complete. I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fear of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproaringly. Ha 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 ha. That is I, Gundham Tanaka. I shall stick with my evil until the very end. Open sesame, pandemonium. I shall fill hell with true hell. Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye. And that's that. There was a lot.
So sad.
That was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I hope all of you guys had a lot of fun. Send it to you, and then it's just a back and forth between random bits where it's just like, but her body was hung up. But strawberry house.
I would totally actually just go back and just revoice all of the trials, like, just turn off their voices and then we do it ourselves.
Yeah, I'd do that. All right.
That would be awesome.
I'm gonna stop recording. Bye, weirdos.